Hey there, most of you just watched the Olympics, the fireworks, the world records, the gold medals. It looks like the ultimate global party, right? But here's what they don't show you during the closing ceremony. Behind those podiums, there's a massive, terrifying bill. And while cities used to fight to host the games now, they're literally running away from them. In this video, we're going to break down why the Olympics became a financial trap, how the winner's curse works, and who is actually stuck with the bill when the party ends. Let's get started. Each city tries to one-up the last one. It all starts with something economists call the winner's curse. Think of it like this. Imagine you're at an auction. Everyone's bidding on the same item, let's say a vintage guitar. The person who wins isn't the person who valued it correctly. It's the person who was willing to pay the most. And usually, that means they overpaid. That's exactly how Olympic bidding works. Cities compete against each other. Paris, LA, Tokyo, Istanbul. And to even be considered, they have to promise the International Olympic Committee the best games ever. Beijing built the Bird's Nest Stadium for $428 million. So Sochi had to build an entire Olympic park from scratch in a subtropical resort town in the mountains for $51 billion. That's not a typo. 51 billion. More stadiums, more technology, more security. The IOC doesn't pay for any of this. The host city does. It's like throwing a wedding where you're forced to invite the whole world, but you're not allowed to sell tickets to cover the food. Here's the perfect metaphor. Imagine you're hosting a massive party. You've promised your guests, who, by the way, include some very important people, the best party they've ever been to. So you rent the fanciest venue, hire top-tier caterers, build a custom stage, and hire security. But here's the catch. Your VIP guests take all the ticket revenue and sponsorship money. You're stuck with the venue rental, the cleanup, and the debt. That's the Olympics. Now let's talk about what happens after the Olympic flame goes out. This is where things get really depressing. The Olympics require highly specialized venues that have almost no use after the games end. We're talking about velodromes, bobsled tracks, ski jumps, kayak courses, facilities that cost millions to build and millions more to maintain. Let me show you what I'm talking about. The kayak slalom course? Dry and cracked. The Olympic Aquatic Stadium was supposed to be dismantled and turned into public pools. It never happened. It just sits there. The Olympic Village? Supposed to become affordable housing. Instead, many units remain empty or were sold at luxury prices. Athens 2004. This one's even worse. Athens built 21 venues. Most are now graffiti-covered ruins. The beach volleyball stadium, completely abandoned. The softball stadium, never used again. These ghost venues cost the city millions annually just to secure and maintain, even though nobody uses them. Here's a stat that should blow your mind. 100% of Olympic Games since 1960 have gone over budget. Not 90%, not 95%. 100%. On average, the cost overrun is 172% over budget. That means if a city budgets $10 billion, they're actually going to spend $27 billion. Montreal's 1976 Games took taxpayers 30 years to pay off. 3 decades. People who weren't even born during the Olympics were paying for them. Okay, so if hosting the Olympics is such a financial disaster for cities, who's actually making money here? Let me introduce you to the International Olympic Committee, the IOC. This is a private organization based in Switzerland that controls the Olympics, and they've created one of the most brilliant business models in sports. Here's how the money flows. The IOC takes the vast majority of TV broadcast rights, billions of dollars, top-tier sponsorship deals with companies like Coca-Cola, Visa, Toyota, and licensing and merchandising rights. For context, NBC paid $7.75 billion for U.S. broadcast rights from 2021 to 2032. That money goes to the IOC. The host city gets a small slice, but the IOC keeps most of it. Meanwhile, the host city is responsible for building all the venues, stadiums, Olympic Village, media centers, infrastructure upgrades, roads, airports, public transit, security. This alone cost London $2 billion in 2012. And all the soft costs, planning, administration, ceremonies. And if there's a deficit, if things go wrong, that's on the city, meaning the taxpayers, the regular person impact. Let me give you some real examples of how this hits ordinary people. Montreal, 1976. Taxpayers paid a special Olympic tax for 30 years. People who were 10 years old during the Games were still paying when they were 40. Rio, 2016. While Brazil spent $13.7 billion on the Olympics, hospitals went underfunded, schools deteriorated, and public services were cut. Entire neighborhoods were bulldozed to make way for Olympic villages, displacing thousands of residents, many of whom were relocated to distant favelas. Beijing, 2008. 1.5 million people were forcibly evicted to clear space for Olympic construction. These Olympic villages later became luxury condos that the displaced residents could never afford. The IOC and corporate sponsors celebrate on opening night, but the bill, that goes to the people who live there. So at this point you're probably thinking, this is broken, can it be fixed? The answer is, maybe. But it requires totally rethinking how we do the Olympics. Some recent Olympic bids have tried a different approach. Use existing stadiums instead of building new ones. Paris, 2024. Using the Stade de France, already built for the 1998 World Cup. Beach volleyball at the Eiffel Tower, temporary setup. Skateboarding in Place de la Concorde. 95% of venues either already exist or are temporary. Los Angeles, 2028. USC Coliseum, built in 1923. Yes, it's over 100 years old and still in use. SoFi Stadium, built for the Rams and Chargers, privately funded. Existing facilities across the city, no new permanent venues. This is the model that actually makes sense. Don't build monuments to the Olympics, use what you already have. But even with this sustainable model, there are hidden costs. Security. Every Olympics since 9/11 has required massive security budgets, billions of dollars that don't show up in the initial bid. Transportation. Even if you use existing venues, you still need to upgrade transit, roads, and infrastructure to handle millions of visitors. Opportunity cost. That $10 to $20 billion spent on Olympic infrastructure. That's money that could have gone to schools, hospitals, affordable housing, or climate adaptation. The question isn't just, can we afford the Olympics? It's, what are we not doing because we're spending money on the Olympics? So here's the bottom line. The Olympics aren't just a sports event. They're a high-stakes financial gamble where the House, the IOC, always wins, and the taxpayers are the ones left cleaning up. The winner's curse means cities overpromise just to win the bid. Then they're stuck with white elephant venues that cost millions to maintain while they rot. And all the while, the IOC collects billions in TV rights and sponsorships, while the host city foots the bill for infrastructure, security, and inevitable cost overruns. Can it be fixed? Maybe, if we stop building vanity projects and use existing infrastructure. But even then, the structural inequality remains. The IOC profits and cities pay. So next time you're watching the opening ceremony with the fireworks and the pageantry and the parade of nations, remember, someone's paying for all of this. And it's not the people in the skybox. If you found this video eye-opening, hit that like button and subscribe for more breakdowns of how the world really works. Drop a comment below. Do you think your city should ever host the Olympics? Or is it a trap no city should fall for? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.